So it's not a fair market sale. In the fair market sale, you'll have some equity in the property, and you could, negotiate how much you would like to sell the property for. So if they can get rid of the property for the balance of the mortgage or a lower amount that's approved by the lender, that's one option.
That's one option. Okay. So you got $1 million house. You might be able to sell it for, say, $800,000, something like that.
Right, if the lender approves the amount.
And you've still got to pay that back payments that you owe the bank too, right?
Right, and then you could walk away from the property, but you don't walk away with any cash because you weren't selling it.
That's right. That's good. No money is a shame.
Right, but it's an easy way to get rid of the property.
The easy way would have been never gotten themselves into it in the first place. You have to shop around and look.
True. For what you can afford.
Yeah, for what you can afford. But so many people want the, but they don't just want the gold. What is called things the end of the rainbow? They want all of the gold right then and there in their hands. And it's not, life is not like that anymore.
No, it's not. It's the immediate gratification.
Yeah.
So
it's like going in a candy store wanting all the candy, right? And you only get one piece.
Right.
Oh, goodness sakes alive.
Our homeowners also have another option, which is called a deed in lieu of a foreclosure. This is actually a great option. It's only available if there's a first mortgage, so you can't have a first and a second.
What do you call it?
It's called a deed in lieu.
A deed in lieu?
Deed.
I got that.
A deed in lieu of a foreclosure.
Okay.
And so what the lender will actually forgive the mortgage, wipe out the debt, you walk away from the property.
But does it ruin your credit rating?
No, it wipes the entire thing out.
Like it never happened.
It's a great option. Like it never happened.
But I bet you one thing, if when that house is sold again to somebody else, that person's going to make up that money somehow that they just lost. Don't you think that's what they're going to do, Rowena, huh?
Maybe in some instances, but a new deed will be recorded to, the bank will have to record a new deed. So, the first person will essentially just walk away.
Okay, and they walk away scot-free.
Scot-free.
Okay, now garnishing is for your jobs. Can you explain that a little bit to me? Do you have many people coming to you for this?
Yes, I've had some clients for garnishment.
How do you lose your money? How do you get garnished? What do you do? Not pay your bills?
You get garnished when there's a judgment. So let's say you had a security contract for this office and for 3 years, and you knew what your monthly payment was, $100 every month for the security of this office, and you decide to breach that contract. You knew under the contract, if you would breach the agreement, you would have to pay to the security company $5,000 if you breached. So you breach your contract, business isn't going good, you can't afford your overhead, so you breach the security contract. The security company might try to sue you. So they sue you in court, you really can't defend yourself, and you signed the contract, so you're liable on the amount if you breach. The security company will get a judgment, and so that's the time when you should say, okay, I didn't pay before, but I need to pay something now. If you decide, well, I'm still not going to pay it, the security company has a judgment, so they can try and execute on the judgment. One of the options when a company or an individual is trying to execute on their judgment is a garnishment. So if they know where you work, which is this office, they could file all the necessary paperwork with the circuit court or district court, dependent on the amount of the judgment, and then seek to garnish your wages in order to satisfy the amount on the judgment.
Okay, and the same thing, I guess, goes for bill collectors the same way.
Yes.
Well, are you happy doing this, though?
Yes, I to be honest, I am, because at the end of the day, I can help someone to relieve them from a financial burden, and so that they will have more time to spend with their family and their friends.
Do you accompany them to court?
Absolutely. If there's a hearing set, absolutely. I will accompany them to court and take care of any necessary legal work that needs to be done on their behalf.
What should Prince George County residents do right now if they have a problem? What should they do? Was one of the questions you gave me.
Right. If they have a problem with a foreclosure or... Okay.
What should Prince George's County homeowners do when they are having trouble paying their mortgage?
Okay.
And that's a lot of people out there. What should they do?
First thing I would recommend is that they work with their lender. So you make that initial phone call. If you're still at the collections phase, so you're still within that 0 to 60 days behind on your mortgage, so that you reach out to your lender, you talk to them. You know, lenders are really busy right now. They have a high call volume. Don't get upset. Just be a little patient. Talk to them. See if they're willing to put you on a repayment plan, which is, you know, if you're 2 months behind, you would pay a little bit more than the normal payment that you would make.
Say a payment was $30. Say a payment was $1,000. That's just, you know. How much would you have to pay? Maybe $30 or $40 more, or another $100.
Okay, so let's say you were making $1,000 payment in your example, and you're 2 months behind. So you're $2,000.
$2,000 behind.
So on the repayment plan, the lender might say, pay $1,200. So that each time you would be trying to, that extra $200 would try to catch you up. Ask about possible repayment plans. Ask about a forbearance, which is, either reducing the
forbearance?
A forbearance to reduce the payment or suspend it. Suspend it for a month just to give you a chance. Maybe you were sick or something.
They're putting a hold on it then. They hold it for you. Okay. Does the interest still incur the whole time they're holding it for you?
Yes.
That's the problem, right? You can't get away from that.
Their lenders will always try and make their money, even if they're trying to be lenient with you.
I think, personally, and I don't care if my viewers like it or not, I think all of these people who took advantage of the very young, no jobs, living on unemployment, and then give them these homes and then see them in the streets with babies, and that makes me so mad, damn mad.
Yes,
because it's common. They're putting dollars in their pockets for a little while, and the mothers and the fathers and the children are all going to suffer afterwards.
Absolutely.
It's really a stupid thing they ever started.
Yes, this county has suffered from a lot of predatory lending.
Yes. And it's always seems like the younger ones who have a couple of children, they are, I don't want to say they're just chosen as the ones, but they have so much trouble trying to make a life. Because I work with young people. I work in the prison system because I lost a son to murder. And an inmate who was in one of these prisons was out on parole and killed my child. So I go in to get some idea of why do people kill. But there are wonderful people behind bars who maybe just get out of jail, just get out of prison, and they want what other people have. We all can say, hey, I'd like to have a big house like Larry King lives in, or, whoever else out there. But we have to realize we can't afford that. So, you've got to have wisdom, and this wisdom and stupidity are very close together.
Absolutely.
But when you see something you want, Rowena, you know that you want it, you go right and get it. You never think about how you're going to pay the credit card bill when it comes in. So we basically have let ourselves get into this.
Absolutely.
We've helped open the damn door, and we've walked in, and we're having problems.
Right.
You think I'm being too angry?
No, I don't.
I just want the reality of this to hit. I want this to sink in. I do.
I think you're voicing an honest opinion, which you're entitled to.
Right.
But, in light of the gloom, there is hope.
At the end of the tunnel, there's light.
At the end of the tunnel, what I would suggest is that homeowners do not ignore their problems, so that if you do receive a notice of intent to foreclose on your home, don't just sit there and be sad about it. There is something you can do.
Right.
A problem never gets better by ignoring it. So take some action. Make some phone calls. See who can assist you. If you could always talk to an attorney if you can afford the services, but ignoring the problem will not help. So start with your lender if you're not too far along the railroad towards a foreclosure. Talk to your lender, see what programs they have available for you. You could always talk to a HUD counselor.